what you're thinking. I only uploaded my last top 10 video a few weeks ago. I was inspired to do this particular idea because the last video I uploaded, that tag video about my fragrant personality, one of the questions was, what perfume do I own that is overrated? And it got me thinking because obviously I have my own subjective taste about what I love in any particular moment, and that's what my top 10 fragrances are always based on. But I was intrigued to figure out, of all the bottles that I do own, what are the most highly rated perfumes by you. And by you, I mean the collective you, being fragrance enthusiasts, and very, very specifically people who use websites such as Parfumo and Fragrantica and Base Notes to rate different perfumes that you've tried. Now, my idea was to go through every single bottle that I own and look at each the rating for each of them in Parfumo and Fragrantica and Base Notes, aggregate them, and then spit out an average rating per bottle. Now, unfortunately, at the moment, Base Notes does not have that feature because they've been rebuilding the site. So I could only use Parfumo's rating plus Fragrantica's rating and then averaging that out. It's not an exact science, but it is, from a quantitative point of view, the way that I am going to present this top 10. So without further ado, I am going to give you 10 to 1 my perfumes in the highest rating that you, collective you, have ordered them. So let's start off with number 10. It is none other than Chanel's Parfume and Fragrantica. Now, I want to also elaborate that the perfumes I've rated, this is not just Parfume and Fragrantica in general. This is specifically the EDT. I'm trying to get the ratings for the exact bottle or variation that I have. So at number 10 is Chanel's Parfume and Fragrantica. Then at number 9, and again, you should expect to see quite a few classic perfumes, obviously quite a few from the 20th century. There are a few here from the 21st century, but the number 9 is from the 1980s, Bel Ami by Hermes. I won't talk too much about each of them, but you'll get a pattern, and there are a couple of probably surprises, I guess, within this top 10. At number 8, it is specifically Chanel number 19, Eau de Toilette. At number 7, first appearance from Guerlain, it is Derby. Now, I base this on the ratings given for this particular edition of Derby. I know that some of the website databases will list different versions if they've been around a long time or if they've been repackaged or reformulated. So this rating is based on that particular one. And this is one that, although I love, this is at number 6, although I was still surprised that it is rated as highly as it was. I mean, it's been in my top 10, so I'm not surprised at all, actually. It's Helmut Lang's Eau de Parfum. Now, the top 5, there are probably, I would say, some really classic perfumes in here. There's one quite modern one, and one I bet no one expected to see. And please remember, this is from the bottles that I own. So at number 5, it's the original Eau Sauvage, Eau de Toilette. And also, some of these bottles have many, many, many more ratings and votes than others, just purely because of the amount of time that they've been around for. So it's even more impressive, I think, that they've been able to maintain such a high rating, especially Pour Monsieur and Chanel No. 19 and Eau Sauvage, because they've been around for a long time. At number 7, this is probably my most surprising entry in this top 10 based on its ratings, but I have constantly always mentioned how it's clearly not underrated, but it's just for value for money and for how little exposure it has. The people who know this perfume obviously recognize a good thing. This is Patrick from Fragrances of Ireland. One of my favorite fougères, probably up there with Sartorial for me. At number 3, this is Heritage from the early 90s from Guerlain, and it is the Eau de Toilette version specifically. At number 2, I believe, is the newest release in this whole top 10. So it got released in 2017. It was actually a reformulation of a previous version of this perfume, and it is the second highest rated, according to you, in my whole wardrobe, and that is actually Dior's Eau Sauvage Parfum, and this 2017 version in particular. So for those of you who don't know, there was a 2012 Parfum version of Eau Sauvage. Then in 2017, Dior decided to redo it. And I have videos which I'll link to comparing both. But this 2017 version is definitely, I think, one case where a reformulation, for whatever reason it was reformulated, actually is the equal, if not better than the original. This is slightly brighter than the original. That one was dark. As magnificent as it was, this, I feel, is more versatile while still maintaining the spirit of the first one. At number 1 is the oldest in terms of release year of this whole group of perfumes, and you can't get it anymore. It's not produced anymore, although Chanel No. 5 is. In particular, this Eau de Cologne version is very, very high. I think it's probably one of the higher rated No. 5 variations for Chanel. And in my collection, according to Parfumo and Fragrantica voters, this is the highest rating perfume that I actually own. So it's really interesting. I obviously love all of these perfumes. However, it is vastly different to what I love at the moment, what I would choose as my top 10. And I'll link to that video so you can see the differences. And I love wearing all of these, but it's just interesting to get the perspective of a population of people who have tried these perfumes and bothered to give them a rating out of 5 or whatever it is on each of the databases. But it just goes to show that classics are a classic for a reason. Some of these have been around for years. That right from the get-go, that Eau Sauvage Parfum, when it was released, there was a bit of trepidation about it replacing the original 2012 version, but it's been really taken on board and really loved as a good Christian Dior release. And I can't speak highly enough about all of these perfumes. So that was interesting. It took me a while to do all the calculations, but that's what happens when you've got time on your hands. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you happen to know what are the most highly rated perfumes that you own according to other people. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you soon for another video. Bye for now.